if the AI feature that you just shipped in your healthcare product caused a misdiagnosis and you had no framework in place to catch it? That is not a hypothetical. It's happening right now at companies that are racing to embed AI into clinical workflows, into EHR systems, and patient-facing tools without a governance strategy. Hi, I'm Jennifer Rist. I'm a senior global platform leader at a leading healthcare tech company where I manage cloud-based SaaS products. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to build AI ethics and governance directly into your healthcare product roadmap so you can ship faster, stay compliant, and actually earn the trust of clinicians and patients. So let's get into it. If you're a product manager, a healthcare executive, or AI strategist, this video is your playbook. We're going to be covering today why AI governance in healthcare is now a product requirement, not a legal afterthought, the 5 ethical pillars every healthcare AI roadmap needs, how to handle AI bias, data privacy, FDA regulation in your sprint cycles, and practical governance checklist that you can use starting today. So by the end of this video, you'll have a strategy to build responsible AI for your product without slowing down your innovation, which is something we don't want to do, right? Most healthcare AI failures aren't technical, they're governance failures. A 2023 study found that AI diagnostic tools trained predominantly on data from one demographic had significantly higher error rates for underrepresented patient populations. That's not a model problem. That's a product roadmap problem because no one built the governance checkpoint in to catch it. And regulators are paying attention. So the FDA's AI/ML-based software as a medical device framework, or SaMD, is evolving fast. The EU AI Act classifies most clinical AI as high risk, meaning mandatory conformity assessments, HIPAA, meanwhile, doesn't pause for your sprint velocity. So AI ethics in healthcare isn't compliance theater, it's patient safety infrastructure. So if your roadmap doesn't have explicit gates for algorithmic accountability, explainability, and bias auditing, you are shipping a liability, not a product. So let's break down the 5 core pillars in an ethical healthcare AI framework and how each one maps to your product workflow. Pillar number 1 is transparency and explainability. So clinicians will not trust and should not trust a black box AI. Your product roadmap must include explainability requirements for every AI-driven feature. That means surfacing model confidence scores, flagging uncertainty, and enabling clinicians to see why the AI made the recommendation that it did. So a roadmap action here could be add explainability review milestone before every AI feature launch. It's just as easy as that, making sure that's built in. Pillar number 2 is fairness and bias mitigation. So AI biases in healthcare is one of the most cited risks in the industry. Bias can either enter through training data, feature selection, or feedback loops, and it compounds over time. So a roadmap action here can be to require demographic disaggregation of model performance data as a definition of done criteria. So if your model performs 15% worse on a subgroup, that may be a blocker, not a backlog item. Pillar number 3 is data privacy and security. Healthcare AI runs on PHI or protected health information. So every data pipeline feeding your model is a HIPAA liability surface. So a roadmap action here can be embed privacy impact assessments or PIAs into your discovery phase, which most products today really have AI or not. Partner with your security team at the architecture stage, not after you have built the feature. So get them involved early. Pillar number 4 is clinical safety and human oversight. So AI in healthcare should augment clinical judgment, never replace it with oversight. Your product needs human in the loop design, bringing in that human availability or the availability to be able to override it. So this human loop by design, by default, with clear escalation protocols when the AI is uncertain or operating outside of its validated scope. So this is really important. AI is great. We don't trust it 100%, nor should we. And we need to make sure we have processes that we can override it. So a roadmap action here could be define the AI off-ramp for every clinical feature. What happens when the system flags low confidence? The answer should be in your product requirements documentation, not decided when it happens. Pillar number 5 is accountability and auditability. So when something goes wrong, and things go wrong all the time, right? But when something goes wrong, and eventually something will, you need a clear chain of accountability. Who approved this model? When was it last validated? What changed in the data pipeline last quarter? Yada, yada, yada. I think many of you have been around for a while. You got this. This is just part of being a product manager, but we want to make sure it's more clear when we come to AI features and functionality. So a roadmap action here is implement a model card for every AI feature that you ship. This is a living document that tracks model purpose, training data, known limitations, performance benchmarks, and update history. So it's smart to do for everything, but more important for AI. So these are the 5 pillars. So if your roadmap doesn't address all 5, you have a governance gap. And in healthcare, governance gaps become patient safety gaps. Okay, so how do you actually operationalize this? All of this stuff that I just talked about. So let me walk you through a governance integrated product workflow. Step number 1 is the AI ethics review at discovery. So before a single line of code is written, really convene a cross-functional ethics review. Include clinical SMEs, those subject matter experts, data scientists, legal, compliance, and criticality people that are really looking as being patient advocates. Document the intended use, the at-risk populations, and maybe some failure areas. So put it all on the line right up front. Step number 2 is early regulatory classification. So is your feature a software as a medical device? Does it meet the FDA's definition of clinical decision support? Answering this in discovery, not pre-launch, saves months of rework. So use the FDA's clinical decision support software guidance as your classification checklist. Step number 3 is bias and fairness testing in QA. So your QA phase should include algorithmic audits alongside functional testing. Tools like IBM's AI Fairness 360, Google's What If tool, or Microsoft's Fairlean can be integrated into your CI and CD pipeline. Step number 4 is ethics gate before release. Create a formal AI ethics gate, a mandatory sign-off of checkpoints before any AI feature it basically ships to production. This gate should require approval from maybe your chief medical officer, your clinical leads, your data privacy officer, and your AI governance committee. Step number 5 is post-market monitoring. So the FDA's predetermined change control plan framework requires an ongoing monitoring of all AI model performance after release. So build dashboards that track model drift, demographic performance gaps, and adverse event signals. Treat this like you treat uptime monitoring. It is infrastructure. This isn't a waterfall process at all. These checkpoints can be adapted to Agile. The goal is to make ethical AI governance a continuity, a continuous process, and a continuous practice, not a one-time audit. So we want to do the right thing, and we want to save time and not get caught too far down the road that we haven't addressed these things as we roll a product out. So let me rapid fire the most common mistakes I see healthcare product teams make with AI governance and how to fix them. Mistake number 1 is treating ethics as a legal review, not as a product function. So embed an AI ethics owner on your product team and give them some authority over what's going on in your roadmap. Mistake number 2 is using proxy metrics instead of clinical outcomes. Define your success metrics in clinical terms. Model accuracy isn't enough. What is the downstream impact on patient outcomes with your product? Mistake number 3 is ignoring dataset provenance. So document where your training data came from, who consented, and when it was collected, or even where it became stale or unrepresented data. We need to make sure that those things are addressed, because it could be a ticking clock if it's sitting too long and no one's fixing issues that are needing to be addressed. Mistake number 4 is skipping stakeholder co-design with clinicians. So clinicians are your domain experts and your end users. Co-design sessions with them aren't optional. If you have some clinical stakeholders internally, if you're lucky to have some maybe beta sites or some external customer sites that are willing to work with you, they are the ones that will help you catch failure most certainly before you could even see it. So sometimes they pick out things and it wasn't even on your radar. Mistake number 5 is conflating that it passed QA and that it's safe. So safety in healthcare AI is ongoing. So schedule quarterly model reviews as a standing roadmap items, especially if your product is a medical device. So I will include some information as far as maybe a checklist, a healthcare AI governance checklist in the description below. So check that out. But building responsible AI in healthcare isn't just the right thing to do. It's a competitive advantage. So the teams that get this right will earn clinical trust faster, navigate regulatory approval more smoothly, and build products that actually improve patient outcomes. The teams that skip it, they're one audit or one adverse event away from a very, very bad situation. So build the governance in from day one. It belongs on your roadmap, not in your incident report. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something out of this. If this was useful, drop a comment below with the biggest AI ethics challenges that you're facing in your product right now. I read every single one. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, share. If you want more content on healthcare AI product strategy, definitely subscribe, and you don't want to miss the next videos. We're going to get deep into some FDA AI regulation and what it means for your roadmap. So links to the FDA SaMD guidance and the AI Fairness 360 are in the description below, as well as the checklist. So we will see you in the next video.